A lot of people are doing physical inventories. So I thought we'd go over some tips for physical inventories. It is really important to have a clean and tidy inventory warehouse area. We can identify the inventory that might be stashed in engineering, stashed in purchasing's offices, etc., and either bring them into the warehouse or label those as areas to count. It's important to set expectations with the count team. I've been to lots of inventories where people were, but I have my son's soccer game, and they don't have the expectation they're supposed to be there for the whole time. Okay. Also, back on that whole expectation thing, it's good to have lunch all together at a specific time with nobody leaving the building, because when people leave, we end up shorthanded, count teams no longer can work, etc., and so on. You can also pre-count the slow-moving inventory, bag it and tag it so that you can just record it the day of the inventory. And you need to establish cutoffs for when we're going to stop receiving product, when we're going to stop shipping product, when we're going to stop pulling materials in production. It is, of course, always best if we stop production during inventory. You can make it work if you're careful. Create your count sheets. I always use the cycle count data export because that's what I'm going to use to bring it back in. And I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to give lots of room for people to write. And I also want to make sure that I include my unit of measures so the counters know what number to put down there. Have blank sheets for things that are not, we find in locations where we hadn't planned on them, and have this organized by location. And then what you want is you want to get those people, those count sheets, into somebody who, or plural people, who are going to record all these counts in on a master spreadsheet from the cycle count data. And you're going to want to review your counts and select your recounts before you try to import to Fishbowl. Now, there's one great big gotcha in Fishbowl, okay? This is the cycle count data import column headers. And right here where it says date, it makes you think that you can import the counts as of that date and all activity afterwards will be adjusted. That's not what this is for. This date only puts the dollars into QuickBooks. The actual updating of the inventory happens whenever you upload this spreadsheet. And I know a lot of people are talking about reviewing it and not uploading it for several days. I had one guy who didn't upload it for over a month. So it's really important that we get as much of this done here and that we stop all movement of inventory in Fishbowl until after the count is uploaded. And because it's really difficult to go back in time and get good reports, especially pertaining to value, make multiple backup copies of your database so that you can put it on a standalone computer and access it and have values to that as you go. A new thought I had recently is I have a client who's going to be audited and they're using tags to count their inventory. I suggested that for each of these counts, we put in the tag number that went with that count. It'll make it much easier for the auditors to tie in all the counts.